President Vladimir Putin vowed Saturday to defend Russia against an armed rebellion by mercenary chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, who led his troops out of Ukraine and into a key city south of Moscow. Meanwhile, the governor of Russia's Lipetsk province said Saturday that the Wagner mercenary group has entered the region, which is about 360 kilometers, 225 miles, south of Moscow, where authorities are taking all necessary measures to ensure the safety of the population, said Regional Governor Igor Artemonov via telegram. The uprising, which Putin called a stab in the back, was the biggest threat to his leadership in over 2 decades in power. The private army led by Prigozhin appears to control the military headquarters in Rostov-on-Don, a city 660 miles, over 1,000 kilometers, south of Moscow that runs Russian offensive operations in Ukraine, Britain's Ministry of Defense said in an intelligence briefing. In his address, Putin called the uprising by Prigozhin, whom he did not mention by name, a betrayal and treason. All those who prepared the rebellion will suffer inevitable punishment, Putin said. The armed forces and other government agencies have received the necessary orders. Prigozhin called himself a patriot and said his fighters would not surrender, as we do not want the country to live on in corruption, deceit, and bureaucracy. Regarding the betrayal of the motherland, the president was deeply mistaken. We are patriots of our homeland, he said in an audio message on his Telegram channel. He said his fighters would not turn themselves in at the request of Putin, as we do not want the country to live on in corruption, deceit, and bureaucracy. Prigozhin's Wagner, a private mercenary army, has been fighting alongside Russian troops in Ukraine. It wasn't immediately clear what his aims were, but the rebellion marks an escalation in Prigozhin's struggle with Russian military leaders, who he has accused of botching the war in Ukraine and hamstringing his forces in the field. This is not a military coup but a march of justice, Prigozhin said. Prigozhin confirmed Saturday he and his troops reached Rostov-on-Don after crossing the border from Ukraine. According to CBS News correspondent Ian Lee, there are reports that Wagner troops have seized a second city halfway to Moscow, but Lee did not confirm which city that was.